They start in the most universal, historic sense that we go all the way back to creation.
Harayata, Mikudashli, Vitaba'atzo, Kudat Moshe, Israel. Behold, you are consecrated unto me with this ring, according to the laws of Moses and Israel.
Of you. It's when I was visiting Houston, and you sat on my lap, and we played, or you played, with Russian nesting dolls. And those little dolls that stacked one within the other, they were in the kitchen at Minga and Papa's house, and you played with this unbelievable focus, and just kept really trying to figure out how they would stack together properly. And during that same visit, I went with your grandmother, with Minga, to pick you up from preschool. And right next to the synagogue at Beth Yeshurun, there's a train track. And we got stopped as the first car in front of the train. And boy, you almost leaped out of your car seat. Your exuberance was just unbridled. And so now, we get to see the two of you. With that same focus that Jacob showed playing with the nesting dolls, and with that same exuberance, but instead of toys and trains, your focus is on each other. And that joy is now mature, it's cultivated, and it's intentional. And it's the very fabric of who you are as a couple and the life that you're building together. And when I asked the two of you what was important about today, what did you want to see as part of the day? Abby, you said that what was really important to you was that this ceremony was egalitarian. You know, the history of our wedding tradition is a pretty gendered roles that don't always comport to a modern egalitarian sensibility, and you achieved this beautifully. There were so many nuances of this celebration today: the circling, the rings, the the ketubah, the tishes, that it really creates, I think, a lesson for all of us as to how to approach Judaism in this new way. And Jacob, one of the things that you mentioned was that this should be a kosher celebration. But I think what you really meant was kosher meat. And I think you were just being sensitive to your vegetarian, pescatarian bride-to-be. And so check and check on the egalitarian and on the kosher meat. Quite impressive. We all love you. We love the two of you, your core goodness, professionalism, your care for the world, and your devotion to family. Your devotion to your parents, to your siblings, to David, Batman, to Zachary, Jonah, aunts, uncles, cousins, and a deep network of friends. Wow, what a chevra the two of you have. You know, just blown away all weekend and today to see their energy and intent and kavanah. It's really beautiful, you know, what the two of you created within your community, within your Jewish community. And I want to highlight kind of who the two of you are as Jews. The two of you as Jews are people that have stepped forward and shown great leadership and commitment to community. I love the story about having to learn your Torah reading, perhaps a little last minute, Jacob, that was told at the Tish a few minutes ago on Friday night. Yeah, but you haven't heard this yet. And it just shows your sense of dedication. And Abby, who you are as a leader in the Jewish community, and the newfound skills that you have cultivated and developed as an adult is simply astounding and something that all of us can learn from. And so any observer of this sacred moment would say, this is a great start. You know, like what a gift the two of you are to each other, to our community. And so I think the question that I want to raise for a second is, how do you keep it going? Right? How do you not jinx it or say something about the perfect game or the no-hitter or anything like that? And instead, what does it take to be able to not just kind of come back to this beautiful moment and have this sense of connection, but how do you build on this? How do you build on who the two of you are and your commitments? And I know that you both have jobs that include some analytics. And so I wanted to just bring something from the finance world for a second. And it's dollar cost averaging. And you know, dollar cost averaging is, instead of trying to time the market, I don't really know this very well, but I'll get to Torah in a second, but I'm going to use this first. Dollar cost averaging is you do something consistently, and when the market's up, you can do the same thing. When the market's down, you continue to do the same thing. And then over time, it's those incremental, consistent investments in the market, or here, obviously, we're talking about something more significant, in each other. That's what builds the depth of relationship. This isn't about financial wealth. This is about building something that will last, you know, please God, for decades and decades to come. Our tradition has the same approach. You know, we have mitzvot, we have tefillot, we have these commandments and expectations, we have prayers, and we're supposed to do them every day. And the commandment to study Torah, there is a way to sort of check the box. If you say the Shema, just the 6 words of the Shema in the morning and at night, it's considered as if you have fulfilled the commandment of studying Torah. But here is where I think there's a little Talmudic teaching that takes us to a totally different place. And it says when those words are in your mouth, right, and you're fulfilling an obligation, the Talmud says, Eino lo chova velo mitzvah. It's a double negative to make it very strong. It's neither an obligation nor a commandment. In that moment, when you are fulfilling the mitzvah by saying the Shema, it's not an obligation, it's not a commandment, Rather, you should experience it, ella kabracha, as a blessing. And so in life and marriage, these daily investments in each other, in Jewish tradition, and Jewish community should not feel like burdens. They're blessings. They're small, steady, sacred acts over time which build something that is lasting and beautiful. And of course, partnership, life, it's full of obligations. It's full of things that we have to do that aren't always the most fun or the easiest thing to do. But when those words are in our mouth or those actions are being carried out, when we start to feel that they are obligations, that's when we catch ourselves. And we come back to this teaching that they should, in our mouths, be kabrachot, like blessings. And so I join parents, grandparents, the presence of so many who are here, and hoping and praying that your bracha should be that your commitments to each other, to the community, and to the world should always feel like brachot, like blessings, leading to, please God, a life of health and happiness together. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
I love you, balls, balls, so tight.
May have another career. So there's a few people we want to, that we would really wish could be here tonight. My parents, Lillian and Richard Wolf, and then Lisa's father, MJ Freeman. And they would be so proud to see Abby and Jacob together on this day. We're also thinking of my Aunt Shelley, who wanted so badly to be here, but she couldn't travel at the moment. And we're looking forward to celebrating with her soon. And Nicole and Lisa are here representing Shelley tonight. So though they aren't sitting at the tables, I know in my heart they're with us in spirit, and they're smiling as they watch Abby and Jacob take the next step. Now when I think about Abby and Jacob's story, I can't help but see it as a series of miracles. The first miracle was that they actually met during COVID, at a time when the world felt shut down and everyone was keeping their distance. Somehow Abby and Jacob found each other, and that was no small miracle unto itself. The second miracle was watching their relationship blossom in Washington, D.C., while Abby was at Georgetown for graduate school. And then the third miracle is really Jacob himself. Because while we already knew Abby had found someone wonderful, what we've come to realize that Jacob isn't just a great partner. He comes with a family that feels like a blessing all its own. Their kindness, warmth, and generosity towards Abby has been extraordinary. And the way they've embraced our very own superhero, Batman, David Wolf, has touched us more than we can say. So that's when we knew this isn't just two people coming together, it's two families becoming one. And for us, that's a true blessing. As a dad, you always wonder about the day your daughter will find the person she wants to share her life with. You wonder if that person will see her the way you've always seen her. And watching Abby and Jacob together, it's clear they bring out the best in each other. Jacob looks at Abby the way every father hopes someone will one day look at his daughter, with admiration, with respect, and with love. And Abby looks at Jacob the same way. And I'll tell you, we knew Jacob was a keeper when he survived a Wolf Freeman weekend in Dayton, Ohio. The women went off to the wedding dress shop in Cincinnati. I went to my favorite place, the shooting range in Spring Valley. And Jacob spent the afternoon with Batman. That's not nothing. He handled the food, the questions about every classmate Batman ever had since pre-K, the interruptions, and the second and third and fourth rounds of food. Jacob passed the Batman test with flying colors. So here we are, surrounded by family and friends, celebrating not just a wedding, but the start of a partnership that we all know will be full of joy, laughter, and if history is any guide, quite a few more miracles along the way.
So I just wanted to add a little quote from by Lord Jonathan Sacks, who, if you guys know me, there's never a formal dinner without a Jonathan Sacks quote. And I think that it applies to Abby and Jacob. He says, science is the act of taking things apart to see how they work. And you, Abby and Jacob, are really bright mathematical thinkers who understand why science is so important. But he says religion is putting things together and see what they mean. And putting the two of you together has brought meaning to all of us. We love you very much. And in putting this wedding together, we have become so thankful for everything.
All right, so
Let's
raise
raise
our
our
glass.
glass to Abby and Jacob. May your days be filled with adventure.
Unlike most younger siblings, we actually don't have that many traumatic stories to share. We somehow mostly skip the tormented brother's phase.
Jacob has always served as a role model, looking out for us and paving the way. It was clear from an early age that he was an older brother who was smart, responsible, nice, funny, athletic, and mostly composed. Just take cover when the Astros are blowing in the playoff league. Rumor has it that our washing machine is still dented from the time he chased us upstairs and kicked a detrimental blow after Game 4 against the Royals in 2015. But most importantly, he's always been someone that has loved us and who we've loved being together with.
As young kids, we were all very active and were constantly playing sports together. Some of our favorites being the basement baseball, basketball, football, and gross ball games we played together. With three brothers, you can only imagine the level of physicality that was reached in that basement. In fact, Jacob left so many dents in the wall, from shoved bodies, from flying bats and balls, that eventually our parents stopped even getting those dents fixed. But even in all that chaos, it was largely due to Jacob that there weren't any more, and the destruction didn't extend any further.
Jacob has always served as the careful and responsible older brother, except during all the mornings before school when we sat in the car waiting for him to be ready for quite some time. And thanks only to Yvonne's full throttle driving, made it to school right at the buzzer. Honestly, it's a remarkable sign of growth that you even made it to your wedding on time. In all seriousness, though, you've always been the responsible one escorting us on all our countless adventures. At the age of 18, Jacob took us on the first of our several baseball road trips together, now having seen 25 baseball stadiums together, and having watched Jacob munch on all sorts of exotic snacks throughout the long car rides. That much time together bonded us tremendously, and yeah, it tested our patience a little bit. But thanks to Jacob's demeanor, it only resulted in him tackling me to the ground one single time, which I totally deserved. This episode is one of the few times that perhaps our most ambitious undertaking as younger brothers, the Jack, or Jacob Asshole Project, came to fruition. In reality, though, this project hardly bore any fruit, as no matter how hard we bickered amongst ourselves and pushed his buttons, Jacob's sweet nature could rarely be overcome.
When Jacob first told us he had a new girlfriend, we had no idea what to expect, and Jonah didn't even believe she was real. Abby and Jacob, from the start, have shown a partnership that has been so strong, constant, and admirable. Abby quickly showed an adventurous spirit that not only matched Jacob's sense of curiosity, but also more than well equipped her to put up with all the crazy, gross family adventures that she was brought along with. But arguably most importantly, the combination of Jacob's cooking and Abby's baking has and always will make them a dream Shabbat dinner ready.
So here's to Jacob and Abby. We wish you a life full of love, adventure, and many Astros-Cubs World Series. And we look forward to sharing many more memories to come.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you feeling?
Great, awesome, this is amazing.
Yeah?
So happy to have all of you here, and it's beautiful.
Yay! Yay!
Cheers.
Cheers!
Jacob and Abby, how did we get here so fast? In the Jewish tradition, we bless our children every Friday night by wishing them a life marked by the study of Torah, a life of good deeds, and the blessing of standing under the chuppah. And now you are 3 for 3, both batting 1,000. Mother of 3 boys. I know that's good. We feel fortunate to have so many of our family and friends who have been such an important part of our lives here to share this incredible moment with us.
Jacob, we have a vivid memory of a crisp November day when we brought you home from the hospital, bundled you up, put you in your stroller, lined with a print of little balloons on a blue fabric with a yellow fringe, and took you for a walk around the block. You probably don't remember this. You were 2 days old. On one level, it was literally a small pedestrian moment, but we made a conscious decision right then to plant a marker in time, knowing that we'd one day look back on that moment and be amazed by how time speeds by. Well, here we are, almost 28 years later, blessed by having stood with you and Abby and Lisa and Brian under the chuppah on your wedding day. The last time we subjected you to this kind of public embarrassment was at another simcha, your bar mitzvah. So we took a look back at the words we shared with you then to see what might still apply. We said then that you were persistent and tenacious, a loving son and grandson, a kind and loving brother, a great big cousin, a loyal friend, a serious student and athlete, and a lover of your Jewish tradition.
Everyone who knows you knows that all of these things still apply, and you have blossomed as you've grown up. You've grown from horsing around with your little brothers and teaching them how to throw and hit a baseball, to leading them on many adventures by yourselves, like Zachary and Jonah talked about, starting with the time when Zachary was a teenager, Jonah was barely 10, and we left you in charge with our minivan, and you all headed up through the mean streets of the Upper West Side to the Bronx for a Yankees game, then on to Philadelphia and Baltimore for your first baseball road trip. Our friends, some of who are here, I think sitting over there somewhere, thought we were insane. We were, but this is the first of many brother road trips, a tradition that you and Zachary and Jonah will hopefully continue for years to come. You built a close-knit group of friends at JDS, all of them mentioned over there. You made another beautiful group of friends to watch you. And you're now immersed in the warmth of your DC Minion community. These friends and your sprawling family are your roots but never your anchors. You live life to the fullest. You are a lover of family and travel, cities, the outdoors, playing and watching sports, Judaism, cooking, and very, very hot sauce. You continue to put your all into everything, especially when diving for a ball of some sort is involved, even when 2 weeks ago and Zachary called from the baseball field and you thought you tore your hamstring diving for a catch, but yes, he did make the catch.
When you met Abby, she jumped right in. She was game right from the beginning to be a part of all the parts of your life. Your commitment to family, your love of baseball, and specifically the Astros, your love of travel and farmers markets. Abby, you have endured enormous family gatherings and family trips, including the time we tried to kill you by taking you on a hike that turned out to be a death march up the side of a volcano. Totally true, you can ask Abby about that. You put up with endless Sacha Baron Cohen references and a sense of boy humor that's never really progressed beyond the 8th grade. And never will. Through it all, you've stuck with Jacob and by extension with us, and we couldn't be happier to have you as a part of our family. And with the exception of your husband, maybe no one is happier than the long-suffering Rebecca, who finally has a girl in the family. You love, while living a life filled with growth, excitement, adventure, and discovery. May you balance meaningful work with the time and space to pursue other passions. May you always be kind to each other and to others, and always enable each other to be your best selves.
L'chaim, we love you.
Hi everyone, we're so happy that you're all here to celebrate with us. It's been so beautiful this whole night to get to look around and just see so many of our closest family and friends who we've known for the last many years. And we're just so grateful that you're all here to celebrate with us. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, to all of our friends who come from near and far, from the bottom of our hearts, it's so meaningful to have you in the same room with us, celebrating us and celebrating our future.
Yeah, and we got a few more hours of dancing and fun, so be ready.
I love Jonathan, because every word, every song. And a lot of smoke. Somebody said he'd rather be